to Sideline Summit, episode 26. I'm here with my co-host, Daniel Cole. I'm Antonio Perez. Training camp started today. That means we have until February with football every single week.
College, NFL, anything you got.
College, NFL, high school, arena football, XFL, USFL. It's just going to be
sprint football.
It's just going to be football. And we're super excited. We're going to be talking some camp headlines. We're going to be going over the NFC South this week.
Yeah.
Over, under on wins. Obviously, as you got Mike Thomas in the background, that's my guy. We all know that.
Yeah.
He's been out the game for 2 years, and I still think he's a top 10 receiver because I'm that high on him.
He's him.
We're going to be talking, obviously, the Jaylen Brown, Kevin Durant rumors. As a Celtics fan, obviously, I do have input on that, but we'll get to that later. And we'll talk some Kyrie Irving as he's kind of been forgotten about for once. His drama has not been the talk of the internet.
Rightfully so. I don't think Kyrie Irving's drama should be talked about because until KD gets up on out of there, Kyrie's not.
KD's the main talk. But
Kyrie might get traded first, though. Keep it real.
I don't think either. We'll see. All right, well, getting into our summits plummets. You can go first with your plummet.
My plummet is the Boston Red Sox. Lost 18 out of 25. They are horrible right now. They have fallen to last place in the AL East. The Orioles took over last night. They might legitimately sell going into the deadline, which is questionable. They said they are not getting rid of Xander Bogaerts. They have faith that their team come back, be good. Man, you can't lose 18 to 25 right after the All-Star break. Like,
the kids are starving. Kids eat for free when the Sox win. Kids are starving.
Yeah,
they haven't eaten in weeks.
They really hit an all-time low, losing 28-5 to Toronto.
And thanks to that, everyone didn't see the Phillies lose 15-2 the same night.
But it's just kind of an embarrassment. Your team should not be losing that many games that bad. You got to do something to change it.
At some point, it has to be effort too. You don't get outclassed that bad simply off talent.
It's happening night after night. It's like you expect them to lose now. And there were a time where there were like 11 games over 500. And you were expecting them to win. And they had a good series against the Yankees before the break, which kind of like gave them a little hope. But they came out after the All-Star break, and they looked bad.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that, man. They've looked bad.
Really bad.
Obviously, they're not out of it yet. I mean, to be on a skid this bad, I believe you're only 3.5 games out of second place.
Yeah,
I mean, it
second
could
place in the AL
worse.
East is automatically a wild card bid.
Exactly. So you're essentially 3.5 games out of the wild card, which isn't that bad considering how bad you've been playing. But you also know the potential you've been playing for how good they were in June, along with the Phillies.
Baseball is won in August, though. Whatever the moves you make at the deadline allow you to win in August. And I think that speaks to them saying we're not going to sell Bogaerts. We're not going to do that. It really speaks to, hey, we're committed to winning. We're at least going to try.
Yeah. I mean, they got a month to really turn it around.
Yeah.
My plummet, though, however, it honestly has to be the reporter. So it's Shams in a way, but not Shams is obviously one of the best reporters in the game. Why I'm saying he's the plummet.
Mm-hmm.
The Jaylen Brown and KD talk. We'll get to more in detail about the players themselves later, but that deal was probably Windhurst said that deal was probably talked about a week ago or a month ago, whatever it was. And for someone to tell Shams that information and now he just now releases it, or Shams knowing the information, choosing to just now release it. Now, that's probably not likely. He probably just got told and he, just let it out. Well, why would Windhurst know that talks about KD trades stopped a month ago, and why is Shams just now coming out with this information? There's a new totem pole in this. Shams, you've been debunked to third. Goes Woj, Windhurst, then Shams. Windhurst is that guy.
That's bad.
Leading into, I'll just keep going with the flow, has been...
Where's Stephen A. Smith rank?
He doesn't rank. He doesn't drop breaking news. He just reacts.
Sometimes he does. Sometimes he tries to, at least on the
He
air.
just be lying. He'll just be like, "I've been in talk with Kyrie Irving."
Yeah, exactly.
No, you haven't. You don't even know Kyrie Irving. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But
LeBron James.
You don't know LeBron.
Yeah.
But my summit would be Brian Windhorst. It's kind of late, but I think that report alone shows him that he's actually on like a serious level of journalism reporting. He's just been great. Also, summit to the NFL because training camp started.
My summit is great. It's about the NFL. It's about training camp. It's for a player who got a new coach coming back healthy off an injury. Saquon Barkley. No one's talking about him. No one's really getting into it. Saquon Barkley is a top 10 running back. Saquon Barkley is getting Brian Daboll, offensive-minded head coach, something that New York hasn't had in probably damn near 15 years. Saquon Barkley is going to eat. And whether the Giants are eating as well with him, that's not my discretion. He is going to feast in this offense. Him, Darius Toney, Wanda Robinson. Their defense might be abysmal. They might score 25 points a game and lose. But their offense might at least have some spark for the first time in decades.
I mean, as much as like the coaching staff, weapons around him, whatever, I mean, it will always come down to that historically bad offensive line.
Their offensive line is greatly improved, though.
I mean, this would be the first time he's actually run behind a good line. So I am excited, but maybe at this point the injury's caught up to him. It's hard to say with him. He could just be a big what if because a lot of people know he's one of the most physically gifted and talented running backs.
I don't know if there's many more athletically talented players than Saquon. Maybe Nick Chubb can compete with him, but Saquon's hands might be just set him above the top.
Yeah. Well, we could get right into some Saquon talk. We'll start with some camp headlines. We'll kind of be all over the place. There's a lot of news coming out of camp. We can just start over in the NFCs. We can start with Barkley. Kadarius Toney had a pretty good day, first day of camp. Jones was iffy, as reported. Saquon had a pretty nice catch in the back of the end zone. Those Giants they're obviously looking in a good direction. They're moving forward. Over at the Eagles, Jalen Hurts almost had a pretty perfect day outside of he had 3 incompletions. One was an insane play by I believe it was TJ Edwards. I think that's what they said. He ripped the ball from AJ Brown, making an incompletion. Hurts, the ball slipped out of his hand. That was an incompletion. And then Marcus Epps made a phenomenal play in the back of the end zone to have an interception, which I'm high on Marcus Epps. But it sounds like Hurts had a good day. Obviously, bad end of the camp. Like you were mentioning earlier, another Eagle was having a good day, Jalen Reagor. He's running with the second team. Smith and Brown both had good days. Outside of Smith, he had an excellent release on a slant route. He dropped a touchdown. Good to get those out the way now.
It's practice, man. It's the first day of camp.
It's good to get those out the way now, but then the Eagles are looking good. Well, I guess we'll just stay in the East. Washington, they're
saying Carson looks bad.
They put it in a nicer term. They say it looks like he's still trying to find his way. He did have a good pass to Terry McLaurin down the sideline, who made an acrobatic catch.
Well, he does that. He's always had that spark. He looks like he's going to be able to put that touch on the sideline, and then he'll throw 3 interceptions.
That's what he does. That is exactly what he does.
He is very timely in
You'll never find
plays.
a commander. You'll never find a Washington fan that'll admit Wentz was good before they got him.
Here's the thing, though. Like, Wentz makes timely bad plays. Yeah. You're looking for someone who makes timely good plays. He makes plays bad when you need them to be good.
Exactly. It's horrendously bad. Well, we skip over to
Dallas. Let's finish off with Dallas. Jalen Tolbert. He seems like he can win that number 2 role across from CeeDee Lamb. Come in as a rookie and just start instantly.
I mean, Gallup's on the PUP list.
Yeah,
I mean, if he's back, I'd imagine he's the 2. But
one name to look out for, Odell Beckham. Whether he signs back with the Rams, he could come to the Cowboys, which would be kind of scary. I mean, not scary, but it's you're adding top 20 receiver in the NFL to a decent
Top 20 is pushing it, but
I mean, he's roughly top 20 in the NFL. He might be top 30.
top 30 is fine.
Top
As of
30
right now,
definitely,
talent wise, there's no question. But it's a matter of being healthy,
exactly.
Finding a role and whatnot. But I wanted to skip over was the AFC North.
I want to skip over one headline in the NFC West. There's not many headlines out there. Trey Lance being named.
Squad.
It's his squad. Jimmy G's getting his boot out of there.
We've
known this, but I think it takes a lot from the ownership to come out and say it's his squad. Because at this point, they've squandered Jimmy G's trade value. Like, they're just going to get like a 6th or 7th round pick.
And Jimmy G, I think he's underrated professionalism in
Future
all this
giant.
because he said, I knew this. Like, it's a business. I know that. And he's only done the necessary things to set up Trey for success.
Yeah.
So very underrated on him. While his trade value might be low, I think there will be teams that might look out for him.
It was confusing to me.
Honestly, the Cleveland Browns, I mean, the moment you figure out what's going on with Deshaun Watson, I'm looking into Jimmy G.
They just signed They just signed Josh Rosen. I don't know I think there's too many other options on the market that they can get that are cheaper than Jimmy G. Well, it depends. If Jimmy G's going for a 6th or 7th, I would take him.
So that's what I'm saying.
But
and either way,
is Jimmy G that drastically better than Jacoby Brissett?
Yes.
I guess so.
Let's just stop there. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Jimmy G is one of the 20 best quarterbacks in football. Yep. Anyway, moving on to the South. Tomlin came out with a QB depth chart.
The North?
What did I say? The South?
You said the South, yeah.
I meant the North. I was thinking of Derrick Henry for some
Yeah.
reason. But anyway, Tomlin comes out with his QB chart. It goes Trubisky, Rudolph, and then Pickett.
That's false. So it's basically a smoke screen. Basically,
that's clear.
Tomlin is trying to, and then not even the Steelers. The Steelers in general are trying to get any trade value out of Mason Rudolph possible.
Which they're not. They're just going to have to end up cutting him.
They're going to wind up cutting him.
They're going to have to cut him. And then you're looking at a 2-man
Trubisky's
race.
the guy, though. I think Trubisky's going to start the year as QB1. The players love him. The defense loves him. The offense loves him. They all say he has some weird, odd poise that he didn't have in Chicago. I think I'm going to call this the Matt Nagy effect.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because he looked really good last year for Buffalo when he played, given that was in times where the game was already at hand.
Yeah, but I mean, sitting behind a year of an elite quarterback and a very good
top
head
5
coach,
quarterback, maybe top 3,
top 2 quarterback. What a lot of people would say was the second best quarterback in the game.
He's definitely top 3. I mean, some people might put Rodgers or Brady, but like he's definitely top 3.
But sitting behind that for a year is pretty good. And then you're going to go to another great coach, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, one of the best.
And then you got Claypool. That's a guy you can just sit back, let him go make the plays.
I think that's really what he lacked in Chicago.
He just didn't.
Jeffrey was gone.
Allen Robinson is a very good talent though. Super athletic.
I don't think A-Rob was there.
He was.
Well, he just got there. I think he had a year or two under his belt there. He didn't have many years under his belt in Chicago.
I think that might have been his first year because the year before him and
it was his first year when the Eagles had the double dunk. And
it was the 2 Allens. They played in Jacksonville and then they separated.
All I know before we go too deep, Trubisky has the best receiving core of his career as a starter. And that's going to say a lot. He's the best running back he's had as a starter. Best
he's got the weapons. Claypool.
They have a decent O-line. It's improved. Pat Fryer with him. He's a top 10 tight end in the NFL. I mean, arguably, I'm gonna put him at 9 to 10.
He's a homer. Don't listen to him.
I love Pat Fryer.
Unlike him, I can say for certain my tight end stops.
You can, but that's not correlated.
Moving on to the Bengals, Joe Burrow is going to miss significant training camp time with the appendix removal. Yeah. I don't think that this will affect maybe the week 1 status or his play of it.
How does this affect him being swag?
Yeah, like how does this affect the missed out cool training camp videos we get of Joe Burrow? It sucks.
One thing I would like to say about the Bengals, they are wearing the all white helmets on week 4. They're debuting them week 4. That's all that matters about Bengals training camp.
Bengals are a couple years late with those white helmets. Now everybody got a black alternate helmet. Why is that? Mhm.
I don't know. They said that the Steelers really.
I'm pretty sure the Commanders have a black helmet.
They do.
I don't think they've ever wore black in the history's franchise.
They-
Well, I
they
guess the
don't.
Commanders are not
New
even.
team.
But
But no, the Steelers are like everyone's trying to copy our swag.
the Steelers been black.
They've been black helmets.
Them New Orleans Raiders.
I think the Steelers could rock out with
a
a white helmet with the white uniform.
I don't like the Steelers getting too clean. I don't like that. Their identity is that black and yellow.
That's true.
Get nasty, get dirty, and all that. Also going on there, Dobbins. It's been rumored back and forth whether he'll be ready for week 1. He said himself he'll be ready for week 1.
Don't mean much.
I mean, he is himself. I think anyone would know better than him.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
I think that actually means a lot.
I mean, it means a little bit, but at the same point, when you get cleared by team doctors, X, Y, and Z. So.
I think he knows his timeline better than anyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll believe him on that one. And then the Browns, Stefanski said if Deshaun's not playing, Jacoby's the backup in response to where is Josh Rosenthal on the QB line. Honestly, if Watson can't play, I'd look into some options.
Yeah,
Jimmy G. I'd see what's the availability on Ryan Tannehill, maybe
Nick Foles.
I mean, at this point, I might take Brissett.
I think there's one thing where Gardner Minshew could get a call.
Gardner Minshew, absolutely, he could get a call.
Because I heard the Eagles are really liking Carson Strong. He's not that much worse than Gardner Minshew, right?
Carson Strong was the 5th best quarterback in a week.
And he didn't get drafted.
He didn't get drafted. Nope.
But I still would it's a backup quarterback at this point. You don't really the backup quarterback is not in that important of a position on your roster.
Yep, just got the tweet. Trubisky, first team QB, Deontay Johnson participating here in the early on-air session. Ooh. Per source, the Deebo Samuels deal could be done soon. Guaranteed could be as much as $70 million.
Yeah, he's
gonna break the market. That's wild. It is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
But a lot of big camp news. Is there just one more big headline we could hit on each? Do you have one? Or
I guess the one thing, it's not really that big of a headline, but in the NFC North, Aaron Rodgers made his statement wearing a wife beater to camp.
He tried to go out like Nicolas Cage. I mean, he's got his buddy Cobb back. Allen Lazard is looking to
big lizard
for sure. He's gonna look to have this season. I mean, every time I turn on the TV, every time I'm watching Green Bay Packers, Allen Lazard, he's blocking hard, he's catching passes, he's getting open. It sounds like a good receiver to me. I think he has a lot of potential in this offense alongside a vet like Cobb, and of course you have Aaron Rodgers, you have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones up the backfield.
This power run scheme, double running backs.
I think the Packers are becoming underrated to a point just because they don't have Devontae Adams. Well, let's be clear. Aaron Rodgers is still the baddest man on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Packers are getting slightly done dirty by the NFL media, but I'm excited for him for sure.
People used to say Brady won't play till he's 45. What happens if Aaron Rodgers plays till he's 45?
You just got to get him the protection. If you get the protection that Brady has and the weapons,
Here's one thing I'll say. Aaron Rodgers, people always talk about the TB12 diet and X, Y, and Z. Aaron Rodgers still looks really mobile for 38 years old. And no one's talking about that. That man is the same age as LeBron or damn near. And he looks really mobile.
That's the thing. With Rodgers, it's always there was maybe he's gonna retire soon. Should they give him a new contract? I was like, dude, this dude's been one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football for his entire years is being a starter.
It kind of makes me mad because he's gonna retire. Him and Brady were both considering retirement, and they're about to win MVP.
Well, let's move on to Brady.
Yeah.
The NFC South. We're gonna be doing
MT. Start with the Saints.
You want to start with the Saints?
Start with the Saints.
All right, let's look at this Saints schedule. Of course, if they're actually intriguing, we're gonna go over it. Probably the only one we won't go over is the Falcons. We have to go over the Panthers because we are in a divide over that.
Yeah.
He believes they can get to 7 wins. I don't think they can get to 5 wins.
Yeah,
but,
the new receivers, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Jarvis Landry.
You get James back.
Well, no,
Alvin Kamara.
I mean, this is Michael Thomas is still technically considered a new receiver. James Winston. He's never run a route for Winston.
Well, in practice and stuff.
Yeah,
but
so.
yeah, I do know what you mean though. That's actually an interesting little thing there.
They had a whole new set of receivers.
Let's get it. Week 1 and 2, you got Falcons, Bucks.
Split it.
That could be 2-0. The Saints do have Tom Brady's
They
number.
do.
But I'd agree. I think they split that. They lose to the Falcons, of course.
Kyle Pitts gonna go off for 400 yards.
I think they start 1-1 there. Then you got Panthers, Vikings. That's another split to me.
That's another split.
So they're starting out. They're starting out 2-2. You got Seattle and Cincinnati. Now the thing with Cincinnati is, you got Cam Jordan still a good pass rush.
Saints still, yeah.
I think I'd go with the Saints on that one too. And they upgraded their secondary to handle a team.
Still.
You think they still split?
They're 3-3.
I think they're 4-2 because I think they have the upgraded secondary. They have the guys to match Chase, Higgins, Boyd.
Respect.
They have a good pass rush, good run. They're a phenomenal defense. They've been one of the best defenses in the league the past couple of years.
Actually, I'm gonna say they beat the Bucks. I'll go 4-2.
You go 4-2, but they lose to the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're both on the 4-2 train. They got Cardinals, Raiders. Now this is week 7. That's probably going to be peak Cardinals. Oh, that's going to be D-Hop's first week back too.
Yeah, I think they go 2-0 there.
2-0 there.
They split. They'll be 5-3.
I'll say split. I think they beat the Raiders, lose to the Cardinals.
5-3 there.
We're up to 5-3 through 8 weeks. It's a tough one. Yeah, Raiders. I mean, they got Ravens, Steelers. I think they go 1-1 there. I think the Ravens are like a phenomenal. I think they can get the 1 seed in the AFC.
I agree.
So we're looking at 6-4.
Yeah.
I didn't get a hold on. I didn't even get a look at their line. What are we at? 6-4. The over under is only 7.5.
Yeah, they're gonna hit that.
Yep. So they're 6-4. Rams, Niners. They could probably lose both of those though. So we're looking at 6-6.
Yeah.
We're looking at 6-6. You got Bucks in the bye. That could be another loss, but I don't see them getting swept by them. So I'll take them to win. You took them to.
I'll take a loss.
Okay, so what are we looking at? 6-7. 6-7. Maybe it's not as close as we thought, except they get the Falcons, Browns. That's 2-0 to me.
Should be
2-0. You're looking at 8-7. So they get over the mark. Then you end the season on Eagles, Panthers. I think that's split. So we're looking at.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I think
we're looking at 9-8.
I think the Eagles might be sitting their players by then.
It's week 17. That will be two straight weeks to sit in their players. I doubt they'll have. If they wanted to, they might have the divisions wrapped up by then, but I can't see them having the conference wrapped up by then.
No, they won't.
So I don't see them sitting their players just yet. Maybe they'll play out that week. But I mean, 9-8. I think that's a realm. I think they can get a max of 11 wins.
I think one thing people are loving Tyrann Mathieu to the Saints. I love him. He's a hometown guy. He's not what people think he is.
He still is one of the 5 best safeties in football.
I disagree. I think he's one of the 10 best. I don't think he's one of the 5.
Name your 5.
My 5 better. Derwin James, Micah Fitzpatrick, Justin Simmons.
No.
Justin Simmons. No. A lot better.
No. There's no way you think that.
He's a lot better.
There's no way you think that.
I definitely do.
How?
He's him.
What's he do better than Tyrann Mathieu?
Better ball hawk.
He's a better ball hawk.
Yep.
What?
Better zone coverage.
What?
Yes.
All right. So breaking news. I run a podcast with someone who doesn't know football. Anyway, moving on to the Bucks. They are set at 11.5 wins.
I don't even know. I don't have to look at the schedule. I think they're going over.
I said we're going to look at it.
We will look at the schedule, but they're going to go over.
I don't think it's as close as you think, though.
Adding Julio, Russell Gage, their tight ends.
Adding injury-prone wide receiver.
Russell Gage is very slept on. People think Leonard Fournette is just some washed running back.
I mean, he pops up like twice a year.
Yeah.
He wasn't even the number 1 back last year. It was Ronald Jones. Anyway, so first 2 weeks, they got Cowboys, Saints. I think that's 2-0. Eventually, they'll split the Saints. So but we'll say 2-0 for now. Packers Chiefs. That's 2-2 to me. I don't think they come out of that with a win.
I don't know. They've had the Chiefs number, but
I'm taking the Chiefs there.
I'll take the Chiefs, but I think they've had the Chiefs number. I think this is the last time.
They played the Chiefs, what, twice?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And what were the results of those two games?
0-2. They're 2-0.
No, a Chiefs blowout and a Bucks blowout. And the Bucks blowout happened, and Patrick Mahomes didn't have his 2 starting tackles.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because Patrick Mahomes threw for 400 yards.
No, I think the Chiefs won by a touchdown.
They were up by 1 million.
They were up by 1 million, and they came back in Brady fashion.
So 2-2, but it gets easier. Falcons Steelers 4-2.
I'm going to that game. Steelers. Brady's last game in Pittsburgh. I might not have him going 4-2.
Brady's gonna get his last ass whooping on the Steelers before he goes, even if this is.
Trubisky's gonna get his leg broken.
He's gonna be benched by then.
He's gonna get his leg broken by Levante David, and then Kenny Pickett time.
And both of them are gonna shit the bed.
It's the passing of the torch.
And then we have Panthers Ravens. I think that's a split. I'm looking at 5-3. What are you looking at? 4-4 because somehow the Steelers are gonna beat them.
No, Steelers aren't gonna beat them.
So we're looking at 5-3.
Yeah.
5-3. Then we got Rams Seahawks 6-4. Or I mean that could very well be 7-3.
They could beat the Rams.
They could, but
we'll see.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Is an upgraded wide receiver core for the Rams.
Upgraded wide receiver core for the Bucks though.
One added Allen Robinson, one added Julio. I mean,
one added Russell Gage.
Hard to say.
It depends if Odell's back with the Rams.
Neither of them have barely played in the last year, so.
Julio's better when he does play.
Julio's caught like 5 touchdowns in 5 years.
Yes, he has.
So, hard to say. Anyway, I have 6-4. And then they head to the bye week. And now we got Browns Saints. I said they split with the Saints. So this is looking at 7-5 for me. Oh, here we go. All right. Niners and Bengals.
Split.
Yep. I got a split too. We're looking at 8-6. We're looking at 8-6. Last couple games. Cardinals, Panthers, Falcons. They get away with a cupcake schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they're 8-6. Oh no, they could win out. They don't get over. They have 11 wins.
Yeah.
So they didn't. So see, this is why we look at schedules, because they didn't get it as easy as you said they did. You said they'll easily get 11 wins. They didn't get over 11 wins, and they got 11 wins.
I think they can swing a couple of those games, get 11. I'm still taking the over, even though we look at the schedule.
I'm not taking the over. I put them in favor of a lot of these games I thought could go either way. I think they could very well lose to the Niners. They could get swept by the Saints. Rams could definitely not go their way.
Ravens couldn't. Steelers couldn't.
Steelers is going their way. Don't worry about that.
There's a really weird time.
Packers.
They struggle with the Falcons sometimes. The Falcons
I don't think Brady's lost a game to the Falcons yet.
No, but the games are way too close.
That doesn't mean they'll lose, though. I mean, it's like having a little brother. It's like the Celtics and the Sixers. It's like, we know they're gonna give us a little sweat, and then the Celtics beat them when it matters.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
So we Saints hit the over. We hit the under when looking at the schedule.
I'm taking the over though.
He's taking the over despite literally picking the under.
Yes. I think Brady gets it done.
What does that mean? If you thought Brady would get it done, you'd have him over 11 wins. Your first time looking at the schedule.
I just think somehow he pulls it out. You know, Brady always.
So then you'd pick him for an extra game. That's not how picking. You can't pick him under and then be like, oh, well, I think he can do this, this, and that. You should have had that into factor when. But you're thinking in terms of
winnable games. The question, I think, there's enough question marks.
Well, there's 17 winnable games in a season, but you just picked him to win 11 games. You only thought 11 times out of 17 you thought he could win the game. Yeah. So that means you have the under. If you didn't have that, then you. All right. Anyway, moving on to the Panthers. I need to check the Panthers line.
I believe it's a 6.5 or 7.
5 for Atlanta, 6.5 for Carolina. Let's look. 6.5 for Carolina. This is going to be a fun one. Browns, Giants, Saints.
I need to get the Browns week 1. Baker revenge.
I would say the same thing. I think they start 1-2 though.
Browns,
I'm only
Lions.
picking them because of Baker Mayfield. I need him to have this historic
You
comeback.
said Browns, Lions, Saints.
Browns, Giants, Saints.
I think they could legitimately go 2-1.
Um,
I'll take them at 2-1 there.
they're in New York
I think they win.
with the better quarterback, with the better receivers, with the better.
I'm going to take the Panthers here.
Okay, he's picking it because he has a point to prove. That's why. So they're I have him at 1-2. Cardinals, Niners, Rams.
I still
0-3.
losses. Yep.
Bucks, Falcons, Bengals. That's another 1-2. So what do I have him at? 2-7.
I am at 3-6.
I have 2-7. Falcons, Ravens, Broncos. It's 1-2 for me.
Again, yeah.
I think they'll beat the Falcons. I think they'll handle the Falcons. That's really gonna
4 and 8.
So I have 3-9. We're at 3-9, heading into the bye week of week 13.
Seahawks, Lions.
Steelers.
This is legitimate
Lions.
a time where they could go 3-0.
They could go 3-0. I'm not picking them to go 3-0.
I have them go 2-1 here.
I have them going 1-2.
I'm going. They're sitting at 6 and 9.
I'm hitting it 5-10.
Sitting at 6 and 9 going into the.
So last 2 games, I have them at 5 wins. If they were to win both of these games against the Buccaneers and Saints, they'd hit 7 wins, but they're not.
I think they win week 18 against the Saints.
So you think they'll be 7-10 off of that? You don't believe that.
I think the Saints might be resting.
All right. Well, wait. No, let's go back to a 3-week stretch. So Seahawks, Steelers, and Lions. What 2 games are they winning?
Lions, Seahawks.
If anything, it'd have to be. I think it'd be Seahawks, Steelers. Because they're high anticipation for the Lions this year. I mean, how many close games they've lost? We know they're a good team. They just got Jameson Williams, who we don't know how his ACL rehab is going.
Panthers are hated on, man.
They're hated on because I told you, I'm just trying to explain to you that they're not a 7-win team. They're not getting over their spread.
So many people hate this.
Because they're not good. They're not good. There is at no position on the field are they great. I don't even know if there's a position on the field that they are good. Besides Christian McCaffrey.
There you go.
Besides Christian McCaffrey, when healthy, I think he's the best running back in football.
Derek Brown is a phenomenal defensive tackle. Same with Brian Burns. He's a great edge.
As a group, though, all right. So they have a good offensive line.
They have a good
defensive
defensive
line. They have a phenomenal running back. They have one of the most big name QB rooms, and they're so piss poor. Baker, Sam Darnold, Matt Corral, PJ Walker. Shout out PJ Walker though.
Yes, sir. He's tough.
See, I was thinking earlier, I was like, man, there should be a team that should call for PJ Walker to be a backup, but I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Eagles trade, what's his name? They trade Gardner, call PJ up. Herman Hurts got that same play style.
That's a good point, but I mean, 1 second of looking at PJ, you know how Eagles fans would get.
Oh my God, PJ Walker, future Eagles franchise.
Yeah. And then the Falcons have a 5-win line, just straight 5.
Oh, yeah, we're taking.
I think that's their max. I'm taking their under though.
I'm taking their under. I'm not looking at the schedule.
I think they're the worst team in football, and
I think they're the second worst team in football behind the Texans. The Texans.
Oh yeah.
The Texans have the worst.
I think honestly, the Falcons.
Sorry, John Mechie.
The Falcons' only realistic wins are the Panthers, and it's only because they get them twice.
Yeah. And
I don't think they'll beat the Panthers either time. So
they could technically beat the Lions because the Lions are still a lottery team, even though they have these high expectations.
It's so weird. I think of the Lions so highly.
I think the Lions make the playoffs. I legitimately think the Lions could back to the playoffs.
They could get a wild card. They could earn a wild card. I don't have them making it. So I think the Lions. I'm going to disagree.
It's very weird, but I think the Lions are where Washington was 2 years ago, where they backdoored that playoff spot.
Oh yeah, and then Heineke played Brady.
I think the Lions are right there. They got their young edge, Chase Young's rookie year. I think they're in that spot where they could be like, wow, how the heck did this team make the playoffs?
It's crazy how they got Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah,
how? That's crazy. Now,
how did the Giants get Kayvon Thibodeau?
Because he has character issues.
I don't know what that means, but
it just means he's selfish. He doesn't like to work
No, yeah,
Work
you
hard.
know what? You know what else they said that about? Michael Parsons.
You know what else they said that about? Johnny Manziel.
Well, obviously,
Anyway.
there's good and bad to that, but
Moving on.
they probably said that about Ray Lewis too.
Anyway, moving on to the NBA. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Derek White, and a couple picks, all involved in trade talks revolving around NBA All-Star, Superstar, Megastar, greatest scorer of all time, Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers of all time.
Brad Stevens, you're just dead wrong, bro. First off, the Nets are stupid for declining.
Yeah,
this is the best offer they're gonna get.
I think Brad wasn't gonna deal Marcus Smart. Brad's original deal was a first, Derek White, Jaylen Brown. That was it. Honestly, with the market so low, I think I'd take it. If I were the Nets,
I would have.
I think you just have a chance at a two-way, 25-year-old, elite 3-level scorer.
And then you're trading a guy who doesn't want to be there. Like KD does not want to be in New York.
You get Derek White, a superb defender, great playmaker. When he scores, it's simply just addition.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to. He could average 0 for all I care. He's a very good player.
Here's my problem, right? The Nets don't have their own first-round pick. They need to compete.
Yeah, that might be the thing.
Here's the thing, right? So if you're gonna get when you're getting a trade package back, you either need to get some team that you know's picks are gonna be good, or you need to get players that can come in and play now, because Kevin Durant is gonna get you a good package, but he's not gonna. You gotta get you the players that can come in and win, because at the end of the day, you don't got your picks until what, 2026?
It's bad.
2027.
They wherever. I mean,
they have Philly's picks.
I think you have. So here's my look for it. You only get one first-round pick from Boston. Like, I'm gonna need more than that. But
Kyrie.
Think about this. Yeah, you'll have Kyrie Irving, which we'll get to that later. Well, I think Kyrie's he's just gonna be in Brooklyn next year. Kyrie,
you might sit out. Honestly.
Jaylen Brown, Kanye West courtside. Anyway, Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving,
Brown courtside,
Joe Harris, Derek White. You got a pretty good guard lineup along with Patty Mills. Jay-Z gonna be courtside, Rock Nation.
They're gonna
sign
sign Miles Bridges. I'm kidding. He's gonna be future Cowboy.
He'll be future Raider.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the Nets still have a very solid team. So if you were to swap out KD for Jaylen Brown and Derek White, I think they still compete bare minimum play-in squad. I think they can get a 6 seed too. That's a very good team. Now, that interesting question would be, who's the number one on that team? Who do you want to be the number one on that team? JB or Kyrie? Kyrie is better.
Give him the keys, though. You got to give JB the keys.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like build around your two-way wing. Let him learn how to play make.
Yeah.
He showed it. He showed sparks. It's a matter of putting it all together. But as for Brad Stevens, the fact that you even put Jaylen Brown on the market is one of two things. One, you are extremely messed up and you don't appreciate what you are building. You were 2 wins from the finals. Jaylen Brown was your best player in the finals. 2 wins away, and you're just like, yeah, let's just no. Or 2, he released this because he wants Toronto to give up Scotty Barnes. Or he wants these other teams. Every team probably looked at the Kevin Durant trade. And they have the one person they don't want to give up. Unless you're the Kings. But
honestly, if I'm the Raptors, I'm giving them Siakam.
I give up Siakam.
Fred VanVleet.
Mm-hmm.
And like 4 or 5 picks.
I think I would do that too. I'm not a Raptors fan, so I don't know how they emotionally feel about that. But I mean, Scotty Barnes, Kevin Durant.
I don't care how you emotionally feel. You would have emotionally felt worse for DeMar DeRozan leaving. So,
yeah, but I mean, that trade never made sense to me, honestly, because so it was DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl for Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. DeMar was not better than Kawhi, and Jakob Poeltl at the time was not a better role player than Danny Green. So I was just like, what are they doing there? I mean, Raptors clearly finessing, got a championship. But
what are you going on? Yeah.
But I think that's all put to rest. Reports have also come out saying, despite that, Jaylen Brown wants to be in Boston.
As he should.
He will want to sign the extension next offseason, which he should, as you just said. Now, Kyrie Irving, if KD is dealt think Kyrie's just gonna stay. What's been Kyrie's thing since leaving LeBron? It's been like, oh, I'm trying to be the man. Well, you team back up with Kevin Durant, you can't really do that. But honestly, that one season of just Kyrie, when he only played like 20-something games, it was phenomenal. Like, his first game, he dropped 50 points.
I don't know.
Like, the Kyrie show is something fun to watch, and you'll probably make the playoffs doing it. I can't see him going anywhere. The only talk was for the Lakers.
Orlando
Orlando is very guard heavy. Jalen Suggs.
That was a joke.
I mean, look though. I mean, if they just gave up on Suggs that fast, I mean, they got some guards they could deal. Kyrie's not a KD package,
No.
so it's not going to take that much. Cole Anthony,
couple firsts.
Mo Bamba.
Man, if you pair Kyrie and Paolo Banchero,
It's them Duke boys, man. It's them Duke boys. You got to keep Markel Fultz, though. It's key.
they could actually
He
be a
slept
little sneaky lottery team. A sneaky playing team.
I think every team in basketball is a sneaky play-in team.
Mm-hmm.
I think because of the play-in, there's no reason to tank.
Also,
You have a shot. And the Pelicans especially went from 9 seed to 8 seed. Got 2 wins off the Suns without their number 1 overall pick, all NBA.
man,
power
I
forward.
was thinking one day, you know how sometimes there's NFL teams with the same record and they're like, oh, let's invent some tiebreaker.
Yeah.
What if these teams that were tied had to play head-to-head?
Like to get into the playoffs?
To get into the playoffs.
Well, I mean, that's what you have the play-ins for. And honestly, having teams from the 7 seed to 10 seed with the same record is tough.
I'm saying
we've seen
in
a
the
lot.
NFL.
Play-in in the NFL?
If they introduced the play-in in the NFL with teams,
That would have been rough because on this and how
say,
would it work? Just
let's
7
say
seed and
there
8
was
seed?
multiple teams that were 9 and 8, like there was this year in the NFC. Like, you know how the multiple teams didn't make the playoffs that were 9 and 8.
Yeah, but some teams snuck up though. Like, I think the only real in the NFC, the only real battle for the last wild card was Niners made it, Eagles made it, and then the Saints were right outside.
Oh, let's say
the AFC.
Yeah, the Chargers,
Steelers, Chargers,
Colts,
Ravens, so many teams.
They're right outside, right? So
and the Raiders barely snuck in.
Imagine if these teams had to play head to head.
It'd be, first of all, y'all all lose to Justin Herbert, and then 2, well, I don't know. Well, maybe Lamar's healthy, and then that's the most dangerous 7 seed of all time.
Yeah, I think the NFL could explore this.
Yeah, it's just they'll have to add another week, or
they already won an extra week of rest, so why not? And here's another thing: it incentivizes you to go win your division. Right now, the only incentive to win your division is to have a home playoff game.
That is true.
You win your division now, you don't got to play in that playing game.
Yeah, but I think the first wild card doesn't have to participate because that's probably a good ass team.
And then there's 2 more.
I think there has to, if the 6th seed is a game above the rest, no, he doesn't have to play. They earned it. They
the 7th seed just goes head to head with.
If the 7th seed is tied with the seed behind it, play.
I think this is where it gets a little bit too complicated because tiebreakers are corny, and I think this is where it gets too complicated. Where how are you gonna set the standard for long term?
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic.
Yeah,
but yeah, Kyrie staying. It's gonna be the Kyrie show next year. KD, he's probably staying too because no one's dropping a bag on him. One more thing, that we didn't say we were gonna go over this. Apparently, the New York Knicks are up to drop 8 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell.
Huh?
8 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell.
So what is Kevin Durant? 12?
If Donovan Mitchell got traded for 8 first-round picks, Kevin Durant is simply not going anywhere. Because, first of all, teams are already hesitant to do 6.
So, by that logic, Donovan Mitchell's worth more than Paul George.
Yeah, because Paul George, he got
6 players.
6, some swaps. Paul George was a lot. However, if the Clippers win a championship this year, it's all worth it.
All I gotta say is, if the Jazz finesse the Knicks that bad, New York will be down atrocious.
The New York Knicks just do everything that NBA Twitter tells them to do. Give Julius Randle the bag. Give Brunson the bag. and go trade your whole future for Donovan Mitchell. Now, mind you, Donovan Mitchell, I believe, is still one of the 25 best players in basketball. I think he's utterly phenomenal, but come on. They just walk into
8
everything.
first-round picks. I would not. I can't get that up, man.
I can't do that either, man.
That's way too much.
It was a fun episode.
Great episode.
Danny still doesn't know if the Bucks are going to be over or under.
They'll
He's
be a
still
playoff team,
internally
definitely.
fighting it. He's also fighting the fact that Tyrann Mathieu is a top 5 safety. He used to get it through his skull. Man is legit.
He's not even the best safety in his team.
Am I tripping? Marcus Williams isn't there. He's also better than Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams not there.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
He is the biggest dick rider on Twitter. What they give Evans? They gave Evans a 90, like a 90 overall in Madden, and he was like, "Oh, he a 90. That mean Lattimore a 99." I'm like, "Why are you sucking on?"
Marcus Lattimore has locked down Michael Evans. He's the only one.
Lattimore is a lot more like Diggs than Ramsey, but he does get it. He does win. He does win.
Oh, that's also. If anyone wants to say that what's his name? Trevon Diggs is better than Marcus Lattimore, you're just wrong.
No, I'm just
wrong. You're just wrong.
He's correct. I'm just saying in terms of like a player, like Lattimore does give up some yards.
Sometimes.
That's why I say he's more Diggs
He's more like
with
Darius
the good
Slay.
ball skills.
Like Slay.
Slay is a good combination of both. He'll give up some catches, some yards, but he's also a phenomenal ball hawk. He makes plays. He's a good tackler.
Yeah, exactly.
Slay has slept on. All right. Well, we got to get out of here. It was a great episode. It was great talking. Next week, we're going to be bringing on a Division II football player out of Bloomsburg. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. We're going to be talking, obviously, some college football coming up. I mean, camp's going to get started. And we're going to talk NFC West, which will wrap up the NFC. And then we'll spend the rest of August doing AFC. It's going to be a blast, man.
For sure.
NFC West next week, we're not going to talk about the Seahawks. Whatever their number is, they're not getting it.
Yeah.
Unless they sign Johnny Manziel. But, yeah.
Nonetheless, great episode. Stay tuned and keep
That's
listening.
all from us.
Peace.
Chicken grease.
Eat your cheesesteak.